Phase 5 of the MCU is officially kicked off with Antman and the Wasp Quantumania. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name's Drew and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now, Ant-Man is a bit of a mixed box for me. I really enjoyed the first one, the second one was kind of mixed, and I'm a bit mixed on this one as well, to immediately let you know from the get-go. I do really like the character, and I think that Paul Rudd is amazing in the role, so he's definitely the exact perfect fit for it. It's just that this one is a bit of a mixed bag. In a way, they're trying to do too much, but at the same time, it's kind of paint by numbers. But we're going to get into that a bit later. But yeah, still, I'm quite excited that we've kicked off the 5th phase. I am looking forward to seeing everything that's going to be surrounding Kang. If you're not aware, now that Thanos is gone, Kang the Conqueror is going to be the next big bad. But I mean, how do you not know that? Have you been living under a rock? Have you not been following all the 40, I think by now, installments in the MCU religiously? I mean, what are you doing with your life? Obviously, I'm just kidding. So I suppose we should get into it. Why don't we? The plot first, as we usually do with these reviews. So this is obviously already after Endgame, etc. So this film is not trying to fill out anything that happened, you know, in the time where for 5 years humanity was gone or anything like that. No. Actually, it is very interesting because the Quantumania refers to the quantum realm. Now, we've been hearing about that, particularly in the Ant-Man films, ever since the first one, actually. And so now we actually get to see this quantum realm. It's basically, we're on a subatomic level, right? So our protagonists are shrink down to a subatomic level and then they enter this quantum world. So it's basically like a world within a world, you know. And how does it come about? Well, actually, just so that you know, the film has got 5 main characters, I'll call it. This is, I suppose, or at least we've got the 5 family members. That is an issue I'll return to a bit later. So we've got Ant-Man, we've got the Wasp, then we've got Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, and then you've got his wife, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. She appeared in the last one towards the end, if you do not remember that. So she already appeared in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She came from the quantum realm. That's where she was stuck for decades and decades. And then we also have Antman and Ant-Man's daughter, who has also appeared in previous films. She is now also basically a main character. And she builds this device to sort of map out the quantum realm. And something happens, I'll say, I won't spoil exactly what, but they all, the 5 of them, they get sucked into the quantum realm. And we discover that there's not just a whole world there, but even a whole civilization of people. Now, you know, so they're split up into 2 groups when they finally do arrive there. It's a bit of a chaotic ride. And, well, they're at the same time exploring this world and, you know, like I say, the people who live there, because they're actual people who live there. And Michelle Pfeiffer's character, having been there for decades, we learn a lot more backstory about her, and you can tell from the get-go there's something that is deeply worrying her, something that is lurking in the quantum realm that needs to be dealt with. And if you've seen the trailer, if you've seen any trailer for this film, I feel this isn't really a big spoiler. It's not really a spoiler at all. Like I say, it's in the trailers. We actually have Kang the Conqueror there at this quantum level, and so yeah, it's immediately apparent that this is the guy we're talking about, and this is the big danger that she knows and you know, wants to keep everyone safe from. And so yeah, so they're trying to find their way back from the quantum realm. Of course, that is basically what the film is about. Now, you know, leaving the plot now, just talking about things, the first thing I do want to address is this group of protagonists. Well, I like all of them, I will say that. I like all 5 characters, I really do. You know, Michael Douglas, this is the most he's gotten to do in any of the Ant-Man films, I feel. And particularly, I like Michelle Pfeiffer's character. I also feel she's not just the best character, but also the best actress. You know, there's a best actor in the film. I really liked what she did. But the problem is, it's a bit much. So we've got Ant-Man, we've got the Wasp, we've got Ant-Man's daughter, who now also has a suit and also needs a lot of things to do. And then you've got Michael Douglas, and then you've got Michelle Pfeiffer, and they're all there, and they all need development, you know, they all need their own scenes, they need their character progressions. And I feel it's a bit much. It's like these typical, it's what happens with these films and shows as time goes on and they have multiple installments. It's very particular, I'm thinking about like the CW, DC shows like Arrow and Flash, where the core team keeps expanding, we're adding members, and at some point they all need something to do, and it just gets a bit ridiculous because you're having to, you know, make such wide berths, you know, just really try to gather all sorts of things just to make a cohesive story just for every single character. And I feel we could have done without that. I actually would have enjoyed a lot more if it would have been a film just focusing on Ant-Man and the Wasp, because actually, while Paul Rudd especially does have a lot of screen time, I don't know, it kind of felt like the two of them, I mean, it's their name in the film title, but it felt like the two of them were more like side characters to this main story, which is really, really strange. You know, like, again, I like all of the characters and the actors portraying them, but it felt off. I would have enjoyed that a lot more. Just the two of them focused on this quantum realm and Kang. I think I would have enjoyed that more. It would have brought, you know, them to the forefront, especially the Wasp. So Evangeline Lilly's character felt quite underutilized in this whole film, I feel, which I felt was a bit of a shame. She's also got a really weird haircut that I really did not like from the start, so that kind of put me off as well. Anyway, you also need to talk about Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Majors. He already appeared in Loki. If you've seen Loki, he appears there as Kang as well, in a way. It doesn't matter. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. And he is here now as well, and it's really interesting because with Kang we know that he has got very many different versions throughout the multiverse, and here we see a version that is actually quite unhinged. So it's really cool, where Thanos was really calm and collected, and you're like, okay, I get where he's coming from with his philosophy and motivation, etc. Here now with Kang, you know, we've got all sorts of possibilities, and like here in this film, he's shown as nearly a maniac, you know, so you can really see this craziness, this person who wants to not just erase, like Thanos did, just populations, he wants to erase timelines. So we're talking about a countless number of people, you know, so many more than Thanos wanted to erase, you know, and you can see that craziness coming through, and I think he's an amazing actor. So I think we're really in for a great ride with him as Kang over the next few films and throughout this phase. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's coming there. One thing that is really amazing are the effects. I mean, obviously Marvel is known for this, but I really feel that you need to make a point of it with this film, because this quantum realm, it looks absolutely stunning. What is a bit weird is the whole thing really, and I said the same thing about Loki, I remember, it's like as if some executive at Warner Brothers. Why Warner Brothers? Of course not, that's the rival, of course. No, Disney, of course, said to them, look, we want a few Marvel things to look a lot like Star Wars, you know, we want cross-pollination or whatever. This film, even more than one particular episode in Loki, but this film, it really looks and feels like a Star Wars film, down to character designs of these people living in the quantum realm and all this. It's got such a strong Star Wars vibe. It was kind of weird, really. I like all the designs though, and I really, like I said, the overall quality is quite amazing. That being said, it will obviously be a very expensive point for the production, and I feel that moving forward, because I fear that Ant-Man isn't going to do that well, you know, at the box office, it's definitely not going to reach those heights that obviously Disney would love to have, but I would expect it won't make even as much as, like, say, Thor Love and Thunder. But these films are still costing a lot of money, so I would suggest to them, you know, if I were someone who knows the business, which I don't, you know, this is a layperson making a suggestion, I feel that they should probably they could easily reduce their budget by not having the CGI being that good, you know, or that much, etc. I'm sure that's where they can save a lot of money. And, you know, with the budget being lower, you have lower expectations, and a film will turn profitable a lot sooner. I feel that's the way forward for them, because we're in a bit of a muddled grey area basically. People are getting kind of tired of the MCU and superhero things at the same time, which is also owed to the quality not being quite there where it was, you know, throughout the first 3 phases. I don't know, something feels a bit off about it. So I feel they need to tweak it a bit, and I believe they are doing it going forward. Like, they've already announced that they're not going to release as many shows on Disney Plus, but focus more on tweaking that quality, and I think that's a good idea to do that. So really tweak the quality, like I say, but even by all means just reduce the budgets, because, you know, I would rather have us having just them making these films, because they're still great stories. It's fun. I mean, Antman, I'll be honest, Antman and the Wasp Quantumania feels a lot like paint by numbers. It feels like a very, very generic superhero plot, which is a bit of a shame as well, but the aesthetics are amazing. But still, if you can bring them down a bit, I believe that, you know, that would be the best of both worlds, you know, where they still have profitable films and keep making them, and at the same time, you know, we as fans obviously want to see more of these films. One thing I forgot to mention, and you see him in the trailers as well, is MODOK, which, if you're not familiar with the character, it's basically like this being with a massive head, but the arms and legs are still normal proportioned. Looks hilarious, obviously, and he's got this sort of propulsion system that allows him to fly around. MODOK is an abbreviation for mechanized organism designed only for killing, which is obviously funny. Actually, a great character. You know, he had people complaining because of the huge face about the CGI and stuff. I felt it was fine. I just overall liked another character in the film that I really, really liked. So you've got great characters, etc., but I don't know, it felt like it needs a bit of tweaking. It is very enjoyable, and the humour is great as well, so that's what I've always liked about the Ant-Man films. I thought the humour was exactly right, particularly in the first one. I want them to keep making these films. I just think that, you know, they need to spend some more time tweaking it. Yeah. Also, the ending was a bit weird, because there's a moment towards the really, really end, not going to spoil it of course, where you feel like, wow, this is going to change a lot for particularly Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then something happens and it's like, okay, you know, the big dramatic thing that you're thinking about, well, how is this going to continue? It's just undone within just a few seconds. It's like, why? It's just so that we have a nice clean ending. It's a bit strange. So yeah, not quite happy about it, but it's still a very enjoyable film. Obviously see it if you're an MCU fan, and I'm sure you'll have a great time, because the film is a lot of fun. And like I say, particularly 2 performances I would mention are Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors. Really great stuff coming, particularly from those 2. That'll be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about this film, how it compares to the other Ant-Man films, or anything else currently going on in the MCU. How do you think, what are they going to do moving forward? Are they going to tweak things quite a bit? Are they going to do something maybe very drastic? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video on Flying Wiener. Take care.